Hello to you. I'm Jessie Johnson. I'm going to speak to you about New World Orders, secret of the 12 basic New World Orders of empires, nation states, and cultures. Most humans become upset or nervous when they hear of a new world order. For 8,000 years to the present, this nonsense of a new world order has been going on and tried and failed, every one of them, every time. New world orders mainly happen when humans, mainly men, seek to force their stupidities, gutter cultures, and ignorance on others. And it seems to work for a time. It never works, never have worked, never shall work. All New World Orders fail. Why? Listen to these few words carefully. Unenlightened men and women can never be just. Number one, all empires, nations, nation-states, inter-nations, and new world orders are unjust, and they fail 100% of the time. 8,000 years of the recorded past proves 100% of this to be true. Number two, no New World Order can ever survive along because of the tremendous conflicts on all levels and planes of each individual, of hundreds, thousands, millions to billions of human males and females, and all of the different values, dreams, wishes, desires, worthless self-destructive goals to their self and others, etc., that each individual holds. It is one thing to try a new world order on a national scale, which has never worked and never will, to trying to wipe out every culture and every language and implanting only one culture and one language and one race worldwide. Men, in general, nothing but God-damned insane in the technical meaning of that word. New World Order. One culture, one language, one money type, one religion, one race of humans, one political system, one form of art, one economic system, one educational system, one medical system, one family structure, one law system, one form of mass media, one form of exploitable science, one form of anti-spiritual system on earth. On an earth barren of almost all life, of almost all types and forms because of what humans have done. There's only one institution of the 12 institutions of humanity that in fact works with flawless institutional perfection and have worked unfailingly for 10,000 years as an institution, the poverty institution. Just as there are 12 institutions, there are 12 base ways, each with their sub-ways of looking at all things human and otherwise. The total of humans' 10,000 years of recorded past, mainly that of men, is to force their beliefs and ways on others, all the way to the present day, as far as can be told without a single day's rest. Some humans consider the human race's nightmare inconsequential and in some cases funny. Why? Because it's not happening to them personally, or because they're so materialistically well off, or because they're one of those believing in new world orders. As long as you are alive, you are part of this world and putting life negatives and life positives into it. Does your life positives outweigh your life negatives? Every empire sought to force on others a new world order. Yes, 10,000 years of new world orders up until today. There's a few of them today. You think someone's trying to keep them secret? No, it's in plain sight and you're living in it now while it's happening. Today's new world orders will break down and crumble like all the ones before it. Why? Because men, mainly men and a few women, don't know a damn thing after 10,000 years, literally. How can mainly men not learn a thing in 10,000 years? 10,000 years is a long time. The problem is all of the bloodshed, suffering, and poverty new world orders cause in the several decades or several hundreds of years while they're around. There are new world orders today, not just one. There are 12 human institutions, therefore there are 12 most basic new world orders. Each new world order tussling for dominance of the world, whole world, in its own area, own image, own way, and dominance over other areas and institutions. Let's make sense of this insanity. The 12 institutions of humanity are political, religion, economics, educational, art, mass media, medical, science, law, family, spiritual, and poverty. Of the 12, family is the most important, then spiritual. Family takes care of sex, which takes two parental polarities to exist. You must first exist before the rest of it can be. All new world orders, empires, nation states, city states, all have several commonalities. For 8,000 years or more, only certain types of people believe in new world orders. New world orders are against the good and welfare of humanity. They are forms of slaughter, oppression, slavery, ecocide, rampant conflict, hierarchy of the few having much while multitudes have little and struggle. How can you, specifically you looking at this video, if you are there, be convinced that you should be killed and kill others over someone else's mere super rich lifestyles? For that is what soldiers do above all other things, to die and slaughter for, not freedom. It is virtually never over any true freedom. The best soldiers of all soldiers are the most brainwashed and insensitive ones. Today it is over oil, diamonds, taking others, people's land and livelihood by cunningness or by force, unable to see the elites, unable to see the massive world slaughtering their lifestyles and comforts rely on. You think you can have a paradise on earth with new world orders, nations, etc.? The only paradise is no new world order, no militaries, no nations, no poverty, 0%, no religions, no bad health anywhere, no corruption, no anti-social exploitation, no present-day slavery of whites, blacks, browns of all shades, no mental or physical diseases, no oligarchies, no monarchies, no barbarian archies, no empires, no capitalism or communism. Those who believe in new world orders, nation states, are inhumane, subhuman, anti-human, anti-humanitarian, and anti-life as a whole. In this specific context, every person, male and female, who believe in the creation of, maintenance of, and expansion of new world orders are niggers, lowlifes, insane, and fucking lunatics in the most extreme technical form of the original true meaning of these words. in the specific context, and in this specific context, includes all those people who believe in capitalism, the maintenance of poverty, communism, nation states, and new world orders. The world is as it is because of the personal states of each one of us. Here are some of the present day new world orders. Hold on, please. I'm going to move the camera. Now, to continue, the first is illustration A, economics, new world orders. Number one, the false Jews, central banks, control production of every nation's money supply, thereby controlling all Earth's economies. Number two, so-called white man's slavery state of the total Earth population, including the total so-called white race as slaves, as happening now in Greece. Number three, communism, which is a form of state capitalism to create a world one-state capitalism control system. Number four, two forms of capitalisms, public, such as in the USA, and state, such as in Russia, creates a world public form under the falsehood of globalization. We will go to illustration B. Poverty, new world order. Number one, the world's elites in all institutions, or about 5% of humanity, to own and control all land and resources of the earth. Bottom 95% to 98% to live in perpetual poverty. Number two, Western civilization, to reduce human population down to 500 million to 700 million humans permanently, to create a paradise for elites and sustainable levels of resources. We will go to C, family, new world orders. Number one, to weaken male and female bond to frailty, to reduce population and control them. Number two, to use and promote of anti-survival of the species, our species, systems, such as mutual so-called pseudo-homosexual masturbation, bi-pseudo-sexual masturbation, etc., lifestyle systems. We will now go to D. Political new world orders. Number one, empire of the United States of America, over 800 military bases worldwide, control every other nation state into cowardice. Number two, Islamic, totalitarian, remove all political states on earth, replace them with a monarch, caliphate. Number three, a single internations state political oligarchy. These are new world orders. We will go to E, law. Number one, Islam, Mohammedism, to remove all law systems on earth and replace it with Sharia law. Number two, Western civilization, to remove all law systems on earth and replace it with false democratic laws. F, science, new world orders. Number one, truth, community of earth, a total world built on non-exploitable science and freedom to produce a paradise earth of ecology teeming with life. Medicine, new world orders. Number one, Western civilization slave masters, stupefy, dumb down with slow but extreme poisonous substances in air, food, water, vaccines, clothing, housing materials, etc. Number 2, so-called white man slave masters to use eugenics to remove all races except about 30% of the white race. We will go now to religion, New World Orders. Number 1, Christianity, one religious body made of all religions on earth, all controlled by the single Catholic hierarchy. Number 2, heliocentrism, heliocentric religion, sun worship, sun at the center with planets whirling around it. One false cosmology worldwide. Number 3, Islam, elimination of every religion on earth. One religion, Mohammedanism or Islam. We will go to I now. Mass media, New World Orders. Number 1, Western civilization as a whole, own, control, indoctrinate, manipulate all information outlets on earth by an oligarchic, pluralistic aristocracy. We will go to J, the institution of art. New World Orders. 1, Muslim, Islamic, removal of all cultures, their art forms, replace it with one art form, Islamic. Number 2, Empire of the United States of America, reduce all art of all cultures into a single form and control it. We will go to K now. We will go to K now, education, New World Orders. Number 1, so-called white man's world, one language, English. 2, Mohammedanism, Islam, one world language, Arabic. 3, Spanish, multiple nation states to have one world language, Spanish. We will go to L now. Spiritual, New World Orders. Number 1, none. No forcing of humans to do anything. It is not possible to force a human to awake and become conscious. Since more than 5 billion humans are spiritually in comas while their bodies are awake, it must come about on its own or the species stops developing or evolving and becomes extinct. I want to thank everyone for listening and watching, and have a very good day.